stop feeding the thoughts that make life harder, all right? We've all had a time where we feel angry, we feel upset, we feel sad, and unconsciously, we choose to stay in that emotion and choose to not really like get out of it, because we all know that we can just like do this task or listen to this song to stay in the mood, or we can do the opposite of that thing to get out of it, right? So think about when you feel angry. A lot of the time your brain is just thinking of things that piss you off, right? It's keeping you at that state, it's just feeding you. But you have to be at like a higher level of consciousness, right? So that you can be aware of what's going on in your head, and then you're like, I don't want to feel angry. So I'm gonna think of things that don't make me angry, right? It really is that simple. Just think of things that don't piss you off. Think of something that, like, think of a time when you were with a friend laughing and having fun. And this is not just anger. This goes with like feeling lustful. You're gonna be cycling that thought, and you might not be conscious of it, but you're just keeping that thought in your head, making it a lot harder to like dismiss the feeling and to move on, right? So if we can choose to continually feel sad or continually feel mad by thinking of these things and then doing these things, you know what else we can do? We can choose to feel good by choosing this thing and this thing and this thing that make us feel better, right? So a really good thing to think about is just a time where you were laughing really hard with your friends, right? That'll get rid of pretty much any negative emotion. And really, there's no emotions that are negative. They all serve a purpose, but I feel like anger is probably one of the worst emotions, which actually come from a very like angry background. I don't know if you know that, but I'm not gonna get too into that right now. So I've actually done this a multitude of times, and it's kind of a Stoic principle, but not really. It's like it can go hand in hand, because the Stoics believed in feeling your emotions but not acting out on them. So I don't know, it kind of goes, but I have felt I've been pissed off at something, and I've realized that I'm just cycling the thought through my head over and over. So instead, I just thought of something else. I just decided to stop feeling angry. You can do this. You can stop feeling angry at any given moment. It's just hard, kind of, because your brain doesn't want to stop feeling the emotion. Your brain wants to just cycle it and cycle it and cycle it. That's why unconsciously you just keep getting these thoughts that come up and up and up, right? But you can do it. And it's not just with emotions, it's with like, it could be momentum, it could be mindset, it could be literally anything that comes out of your brain, right? So if you're feeling like you really don't want to do something, or like a run, and you're thinking, oh, this run's gonna suck, I don't want to do it, I'm not gonna do it. Actually, should I even really do it? Because if you just think, hey, this run isn't gonna be bad, I've done worse, I can do this, it's gonna be a great run, we're gonna have a huge PR or whatever, right? You can choose your mindset, right? You can choose thoughts that hurt you, that contribute to your success, or they contaminate, right? They don't really do anything in between. So choose thoughts that make you feel good, right? Choose thoughts that make you do better, all right? So, as I'm sure you know, if you're on this self-improvement grind, when you have like a positive momentum, when you just hit a really good workout and you're feeling great and you just fist bumped a random dude on the street and I don't even know, smiled at a girl and she smiled back, held eye contact, whatever. It's gonna be a lot easier to do tasks, right? Because momentum, you know what momentum is, right? It's like a snowball rolling down a hill in a cartoon. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But yeah, momentum is great. We know this. We know momentum is some of the best stuff in the world. So why don't we just give ourselves positive momentum? Because let's just say, for instance, this isn't the case, but if I really didn't want to record this video today, and I was like, oh man, I don't want to make the video, I don't want to do this. You know how shit the video is going to be if I really don't want to do it? That's why, before doing the video, I was already in a pretty positive mindset, and I can always like think back, because as long as you start the day off good, then you have momentum that you can use for the rest of the day, right? Because now for the rest of the day, I can say, I woke up at 3:30, I showered, I journaled, I did the video, etc. So, first, just a side note, do things that give you momentum, and then choose to feel positive momentum instead of negative momentum or whatever it may be. So, why do you feed yourself negative thoughts? Just journal about it. Just try to get to the root cause. And it could be because childhood trauma or something like that. Or it could be because you've always felt like you're not enough because your parents never, because they loved you conditionally, right? I could go on and on about examples and reasons for the examples, but having a lot of reminders about thinking positively, or like, just having a lot of reminders helps a lot, because it's not easy to always be like present and aware of your thoughts, because you're gonna be stuck in your head a lot. So some examples that I've done, you can see right there, this little paper. It doesn't have to do exactly with the topic of this video. I think let's see what it says. It says, pain is unavoidable, suffering is optional. Pretty good quote, I think. So, yeah, examples of reminders. Papers on the wall, right there. Phone wallpaper. Something I've recently done, which is a 24-hour clock. Instead of having like 2 p.m., it'll be 14. So it's kind of just an identity thing. It's not a big deal, right? You can deal with having a 24-hour clock because you can still read it. I hope. Wardrobe, so like wearing the same shit all the time, but new, same shit, right? Haircut, I've gone bald for self-improvement, and it's just like a reminder, right? You get it. So, that's it. Just remember, pain in the moment is growth in the long run. See ya.